Hello, reporting for duty, Christopher Sweeney here, host of Homo Sapiens, the podcast. How are we all? What's a cooking with you? I'm looking out over a pretty frosty garden because it is frosty out here in the wolds. It's actually really nice, isn't it? Could have gone on a nice crunchy walk with you. Had planned to, got really behind, so we're here in my office. How are you all? What's been going on? It's been a very interesting week in the inbox. Lots of people writing in about lots of different things. I'll dive into that in a second. We've got nice emails, lots of people responding about the Khadif Kerwin episode, talking about code switching. And then we've also got lovely emails about the most recent episode with Shon Faye, because Shon and I talked about queer love, and Shon has written this book called Love in Exile. I love listening to her speak. I love how she puts things. The thing that really struck me about that conversation was talking about how she called it a scarcity mindset. If you feel that it's hard to love you because of you have a sort of belief that there's fundamental bits of you that are not lovable, then you will live in a scarcity mindset and you will accept things that look and feel like love but are not. She's also deeply, deeply honest. I find she's the only person in this world, not the only person, but she's one of the best people in this world to make really, really complex ideas quite simple. And that idea of limerence and what that is, why it's so interesting, really struck me. Also because a therapist had spoken to me about it. And it's basically like a crush, it's sort of teenage style crush that you can't let go of, and it survives into adulthood. And then she was talking about its relation to queerness, and she goes into that in the interview. But ultimately I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was a queer thing, but I'd been told about it. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, please have a listen. Something I wanted to talk to you about is this book called He's the Devil. I'm showing you on video here. It's got the most brilliant cover. Flatmates of Hell. It's by a writer called Toby Coventry. And it's about a flatmate. It's like a queer horror about a flatmate, basically. I won't say any more because I wouldn't want to ruin it. But I'm doing that thing that they do on TikTok where I hold the book and then I turn it. Do they still do that on TikTok? It's probably 10 years ago, last time I went on TikTok. Anyway, He's the Devil by Toby Coventry. I'm going to dive into it. I got given it. I think it's really exciting. I love a queer horror. Shall we have a little look at the inbox? Pete's been in touch. Hello, Pete. Hi, Chris. So 100 gay points for me, as I've only realized this week that Homo Sapiens is back. Yes, Pete, we're back. So I'm trying to catch up, and I'm only just hearing your messages about IRL meetups. Yes, everybody, I need to talk to you about that. I wanted to share my passion for conservation and rewilding to see if other Homo sapiens would be interested in a meetup which helped improve the environment. This is lovely. Meeting up en masse to do something like tree or bulb planting, a huge litter pick, or build some duck nesting rafts. This is heaven, Pete. I've worked in conservation for nearly 15 years now. While now externally it may not seem like a very queer industry, for me it has been the only work environment in which my sexuality has not been a topic of conversation or a defining characteristic of me in the workplace. I'm Pete, not gay Pete, which I love. While it's been fantastic not to have that experience in a new job of the colleague who's clearly been sent over to ask the new guy if they're gay, oh, I see. It has, however, in the past felt like I am the only gay in the workforce. I'm not, because I've not talked about my queerness in the work setting and flown the flag for queer people in conservation. I think, like most industries, there's a lot more to do around visibility and inclusion. Pete, absolutely. And it feels like that stuff's going backwards. So here we are, Homo sapiens representing. Not going backwards over here, people. So mainly for my fulfillment, I've been addressing that by running conservation and gardening sessions with LGBTQ plus volunteers since the summer. It feels amazing working alongside other queer people. I think you were saying after the Tom Allen episodes about how we have so much shorthand in our community. I find these days enables better connections with people in a non-pub setting. And that's important, Pete. I love that. My day job is leading gardening and conservation sessions across Camden Parks and nature reserves. This is 100% a bus driver's holiday, as it's something I'm doing voluntarily every other weekend and not part of my job, as of course there's very little funds in the charity sector. Not an ask for funding, but if anyone has heaps of spare money to make my dreams come true, why not? Pete, you've got to put it out there if you want it to happen. Anyone who's got £1 million to transfer, Pete, be in touch. Hello at homosapienspodcast.com. $500,000 actually even is fine. At TCV Camden on Instagram is the day job. Queer sessions are building. I just don't have a name for them yet. Understood. Anyway, what was meant to be a quick suggestion to ask if we should do some queer conservation volunteering has gone on far too long. Pete, no. I love your email. Let me know if Homo Sapiens is interested. Thanks, Pete. Now, Pete, thank you for this. I love this. I, however, do have an update about our IRL meetups that I have been meaning to share, and this has prompted me. But before I share, I will say, if people are interested in joining these things, get in touch. Hello at homosapienspodcast.com. Let's see. I think they could be really cool. But what we have decided to do for the meetups is we are doing the Homo Sapiens dog walk. The first one is going to be at the end of January. We're going to meet up in London. Anyone who's got a dog, you bring your dog. I will give you the date. And we will all go on a big, lovely dog walk. It's going to be me, my dog, James Greenwood co-host. I wonder if James is going to bring his dog. I assume so. That's the plan. And that's going to be our meetup. It's always going to be a dog walk. We're going to pick somewhere new. I think it's really exciting. Now, if you would like to come, you have to express interest, because then we know who's coming. So it's hello at homosapienspodcast.com. Can you please write and just say, I want to come on the dog walk. We're going to do it in London. It'll be like central-ish. And I will give more details. I'm sorry, I've been rubbish, but that's the plan. And it's very exciting. So thank you, Pete, for prompting me. Anyone who wants to do Pete's thing, get in touch. You know, these things do not have to be mutually exclusive. Now, Lauren Joseph has been in touch. Hello, I'm Lauren J. Joseph. I'm such a fan of the pod. Charlie Craggs introduced me to your pods, and besides Spanish language podcasts, it's about the only one I consistently listen to. Lauren, we love that. Lauren has a new book out in February called Lean Cat, Savage Cat on Bloomsbury. It's a novel and it's extremely raunchy. Lauren, I like the sound of this. We love a raunchy book. I mean, we love a queer thriller. Well, queer horror, sorry, holding up this book. Lauren, send us more. Send us a copy. I'll have a read. How exciting. Thank you very much for that. What is everyone else reading? I am reading a book and I just cannot remember what it is. Now, I was going to read to you some feedback about the Kadif episode. So, had a lovely email, the whole thing in German. So I'm going to go to Google Translate. Oh, do you know what I've been using? ChatGPT Translate, even better. I've also bought a new laptop. It's really buggy. I will tell you that the man from Apple, actually, I do not know that person's gender. The person from Apple on Apple Chat remotely instructed me to wipe my laptop. And I'm not joking, I wiped it. And I was like, I think the instructions you're telling me are to wipe it. And they were like, no, it's totally fine, go ahead. I did it and it wiped it. So that was really bad. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. Here is an email from Jenny, translated from German into English by ChatGPT. Your latest episode was shown to me on Instagram. And if I weren't sick at the moment, I might never have listened to the podcast. It was so much fun listening to you and Kadif. It really put me in a great mood, and I even learned something. You both came across as very authentic, positive, and super funny. I usually only listen to true crime podcasts, so I didn't expect other topics to captivate me like this. To be honest, Jenny, in some ways, we are a true crime podcast. I've now subscribed to the podcast everywhere, and I'm really looking forward to more episodes. Jenny, welcome to the family. We are delighted to have you. Your chaos order theory really caught my interest. Now, for those who don't know, this is my theory that in every couple, one person is chaos, one person is order. And that is kind of why they work together. Who listening knows whether they're chaos or order? Please can you write in hello at homosapienspodcast.com, subject heading, I'm chaos, or subject heading, I'm order. I want to hear about your experiences. Back to Jenny's email. I had never really thought about it before, even though in my relationship, it's pretty obvious that idea holds true. I'd say that in almost every aspect of my life, I'm absolute chaos. And my husband, thank God, is not. Yes to Jenny's husband. I can imagine it would be pretty exhausting in the long run if chaos and chaos tried to have a relationship. Looking at myself, I imagine everything would fall apart from beginning to end. At the same time, I can actually picture an order-order relationship working quite well. But who knows? I'm not speaking from experience. Well, Jenny, this is interesting because I think perhaps an order-order relationship could work quite well. I think all order people like people who do chaos for them. So a separate part of the discussion about the order chaos thing is I think you can, going further into my theory invented by me, is if someone is order in one area, i.e. finances, the other person will be chaos in that area. And if one person is, and that same person who is order in finances can be chaos in work, for example. And but the partner will be the opposite. So you can both occupy, you can have different bits of you that are order and chaos, but the other half will probably be the other side of the coin for them. That's very much true for William and I, although I would say we are possibly both chaos with money. But I do think there's also quite a division of church and state, i.e. work and home life, because I actually find people who I know who are really organized in work are absolute chaos in real life and vice versa. Back to the email. In any case, I've come to the conclusion that chaos plus order is the perfect balance, as long as the order side comes with a strong and understanding mind. Yes, us chaoses, we need to be understood. Who is chaos? Who is order in our life? In my husband and I. I'd say I'm order. But he can be quite ordered. Anyway. As for the other topics you talked about, unfortunately, I can't really contribute much since I'm straight. Happens to the best of us. Jenny, you are always welcome to contribute to our discussions. And can I also say that conversation you liked with Khadif was code switching. And I, as we touched on, straight people code switch all the time. I hope you all keep going, and I wish you loads of success and joy for the future. Stay exactly as you are. Lots of love, Jenny. Jenny, you are wonderful. Had another message about Khadif. Khadif is Yoda, Chris. Well, you're Yoda too, but what a lovely guy. Keep doing all of what you're doing. I hope the applause, this is from Jamie. I hope the applause from the sidelines encourages you to go higher and better, but it couldn't be better. You're flying the flag of LGBTQ plus realness, and I'm sure that you know that, but keep doing it. Your vision for this podcast is so important. Huge hug. Jamie, you're very kind. You've written a few times lately. That's very kind. I'm so thrilled that you liked Khadif because, well, I knew you would because Khadif is literally like the loveliest person alive. But there is a very easy flow of conversation with him that is, he can talk about really serious stuff and then he can be really silly. And I always think that is possibly Homo Sapiens DNA, to be quite honest. There are other messages, but because I am locked out of Instagram, I can't read them. So we'll have to come to those next week. What I would like to say to you all is thank you for listening. What I would like to say to you all is, do you want to win Jessie Ware's sourdough? Because we're going to be picking the winner soon. If you do, you've got to go to Apple Podcasts. You've got to write a review, leave a review, and we'll pick the winner. We'll pick the winner next week. I think I might have said that last week. We will pick the winner next week. Listeners, it's hello@homosapienspodcast.com. It's at Homo Sapiens on Instagram. Please write in. Tell us what you thought of the episodes. What's bringing you joy? What are your Christmas plans as well? Please can you write in? What is your Christmas plan? We have got a really exciting Christmas special coming up. We have got Ottolenghi coming on the show. He's going to talk us through his hacks for Christmas Day. He's going to talk us through how to get that food on the table and be delicious, how to have a big old queer Christmas with chosen family or not. You guys all did the surveys and we had such good feedback, such massive reactions. So we go through all of that together. And it's a very funny episode. So that will be coming to you on Christmas Day, because Christmas Day is also the day that we release Homo Sapiens. At Homo Sapiens on Instagram, hello at homosapienspodcast.com. There's also something else I meant to say. Yes, subscribe to the YouTube, please. At Homo Sapiens Pod on YouTube. We need to get subscribers. Loads of you have been subscribing, so thank you very much. That's where you get the video. That's where you're maybe watching this. Me here now. I'm sending you all lots of love, and I shall see you on Thursday. We've got such a good episode. Ryan O'Connell, he of star of Netflix's special, he of the author of this novel, which is just behind me, just by looking at you. Is that what it's called? He comes on and we're talking about your hookups. We're talking about your hookup stories. You lot are slags. That's all I'm going to say. You wrote in the funniest hookup stories ever. Ryan is so funny. And but there's a lot of serious stuff in this episode as well, which is kind of what I love. It's just talking about like queer hookups and boundaries. And yeah, it's a really great episode. I love Ryan. You will all love him too. That's coming in 2 days' time on Thursday. Sending you lots of love, listeners. Bye for now.